All right. Welcome everyone to this meeting. So today we are going to talk about mentorship, mentorship, mentoring people. And I want to draw our attention to the fact that mentorship is not the same thing as um, coaching. Being a mentor is not the same thing as coaching. So people have career coaches. It's not the same thing as having a mentor. A mentor is, I like to say, is more like a parent because they are interested in your growth. They lead you in your growth. While coaching is someone that just tells you what to do. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't have mentors. You have to be intentional in looking for mentors. It can be online, it can be, but ideally, it's best if you have a mentor that you can relate to one on one, especially at a place of work. Try not to find a mentor that is started work the same time with you. You have to find someone that you know is more advanced than you in the teaching sphere. Someone that you know that has more experience. Someone that you know that can give you more um, more insights in your career. But today I'm not concentrating on a mentor. I'm just concentrating on the mentee. You that is being mentored, what should you do? But I must point out also that if you've been teaching for quite a while and you don't have somebody to mentor or nobody's looking up to you, then there is something wrong somewhere. Whatever you have, if you don't give out, it will not help you yourself to grow. Because by the time you are giving out what you know, you have more ideas, you have more things to add to yourself. Now we're going to look at the mentee. I'm going to share my screen now. Where is sharing? Sorry, where do they share screen again? I've forgotten. Miss Amina, help me, please. I can't remember where it is to share screen.
Let me see. Even
Okay,
me,
I've seen
I
it.
have forgotten. Okay, so I don't know what device you're using. Is it a laptop or
It's
a
a
phone?
laptop, but I've seen it.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Okay, can we all see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So looking at behavioral transformational framework for mentees in a mentorship relationship. This is written by a friend of mine, Dr. Joy Burt. The surname, I cannot pronounce it. He's a Cameroonian, but you can look him up on LinkedIn. He has a lot to give out. And we worked on this to get, he showed me this, and I feel it's something that I can share. So let's go. All right. As a mentee, when you commit to a mentorship, your aim is behavioral transformation. That means you need to change your own, you want to change your own behavior. You want to transform yourself. You may end up shifting your goals. Probably you just seen yourself as a teacher. Oh, in the next 6 years, I'll be teaching in such and such school. But you've not seen yourself in the next 6 years, I'll be head of the department. In the next 6 years, I should be this. In the next 10 years, I should be a head of school. You may not have seen that. But when you have a mentor, be ready because Your perspective may change, your dreams, your goals may change. You must be also, you must be willing also to embrace discomfort for this transformation, because your mentor may want you to do things that may not be so comfortable for you. For instance, your mentor may want to speak with you at 11 p.m. because that's when your mentor has time. And then you don't know, you by that time you want to sleep. But you need to make out time so that you can um have collect the impact. You can have that thing you want. Then okay, there are some elements. He pointed out 5 elements which I really like from this framework for mentees. Element 1, see, observe your mentor, or to ask um, thoughtful, insightful questions. That is why I said it's better you have a mentor at your place of work. But if you don't have a mentor at your place of work, then you have to find out time to meet with that person so that you can observe this person's work, the person's work etiquette. You can watch the person also on social media. What's this person doing on social media? Today, the workspace for professionals is on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn and your mentor is on LinkedIn, it's a plus for you because you can watch what this person is doing in these spaces. What the person is doing on Facebook. Is the person sharing pictures of what the person is doing in class? What's the person saying? Then, when you observe your mentor, you must be ready to ask questions. You must be able to ask questions, observe and ask, why are you doing this? Why did you post this? Why did you say this? Just like we're in the classroom and you're doing some certain thing, and then a child is saying, how did you get that? You will ask your question, why weren't you watching? It's the same thing as a mentee. You need to watch what your mentor is doing. Then, while you're watching, you need to remember that mentors are also forging their own path. Your mentors also have mentors. Your mentors also have people that they're looking up to. Your mentors also have people that um, they are also asking questions and talking to. So you must be eager to learn. Watch your mentor's steps. What is your mentor doing? What is the mentor not doing? What new thing is your mentor doing? Take attention, pay attention, sorry, and take attention, pay attention, and then take notes. Take notes, take notes, take notes, take notes. You cannot go to your mentor and come back. You've not take you and you just say, "Oh, I learned a lot," and then by the day after tomorrow, you're trying to remember what your mentor said or your mentor did. It can't work. You have to pay attention, take notes, so that you can ask questions. Questions that will maybe you were confused. Why is my mentor doing this? So that you know exactly what to do. Anything that you observe that is not clear, you are not sure of, note it down so that you can ask at a later date. Practical tips of how to observe. Active observation. At this time, you need to put down your phone and watch. Seeing, watch mannerisms, facial expressions, body language. You need to watch, watch, watch. Focus not only on what they say, but what they do online. I said that online and offline. What is your mentor doing online? There are some mentors, there's people that say they will tell you, they say, do what I say, don't do what I do. If your mentor is that kind of person, please run away. Look for somebody else. Because you need to watch what your mentor is doing and participate. And also try to copy, emulate that your mentor. Maybe to help your career. Like I said, take notes, take notes, take notes, take notes, take notes. It's an invalid because those notes you might end up coming back to them in years to come. Probably even when you are mentoring somebody, you can come back to you can give that person your notes. Prepare and prioritize before meeting with your mentor. Be prepared. I am going there to learn. I am going there to do this and this and this. I have questions. I want to acquire this skill. My mentor speaks in a particular way. I want to learn how um my mentor speaks. I want to learn from. I want to learn the way how my mentor. Sorry, I want to speak the way my mentor is speaking. So I want to dress the way my mentor is dressing. So go there with focus. What is your priority? When you are with your mentor, forget your phone. These days, we are all focused, we too focused on our phones. Forget your phone. Be focused. Then ask for clarification where you don't understand. Ask your questions after your observation. Ask your questions. Whatever you found not clear, ask for clarification. Then find time that you will talk with your mentor, discuss to seek deeper insights. Even as, in fact, when you met your mentor there, if there is some, maybe you came for to find out about A, and then there's something about B that you realize, you can ask questions based on that. Then element 2, listen. Listen, process, and understand. Not just hear, because sometimes we hear without listening. Listen. Listen attentively. Again, as you listen, take notes, take notes, take notes. It can never be overemphasized. Take notes, take notes, take notes. Listen also, active listening to body language, to what your mentor is saying. Listen and to also the implied, what the mentor is trying to imply. Sometimes words alone don't carry it. Rather, so what will I say? Read between the good. Read between the lines of what your mentor is saying. If you are struggling to understand what your mentor is saying, and don't, you have to stop your mentor, listen to, and then ask questions. Don't just say okay, 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 and go. And then at the end of the day, you don't even understand what you've listened to. So listen, understand, because when you listen and understand, that's the only way you can carry out what has been told you. So it's common for mentors to become frustrated when their mentees do not effectively listen, process, and comprehend their guidance, just like we are in the classroom with children. Sometimes you've spoken for 1.5 hours, you've taught for 2 hours, and then you give your child work to do, and the child looking at you and say, Miss Kogi, please, what do I do here? And you get so frustrated. But I've been talking since. I asked you, understand? You said yes. It's the same thing with we adults. Even as adults, a lot of times we are even afraid to ask questions with our mentors. You need to comprehend, and then if when you don't understand, just like you expect your children in class to ask you questions, you also ask questions for clarification. You need to train yourself to listen when your mentor speaks. I like to, when I'm listening, I like to jot down some things, some points. So when you listen, it's not write down everything your mentor is saying. You're not a secretary. Make points, tiny, tiny points. It may be come early, eat well, little phrases, so that you can use that as a follow-up question, so that to ask your questions, and then you can understand what the person is talking about, your mentor is talking about. Are we together? Okay. Then practical tips how to do that. Like I said, active listening. Focus on your mentor when they are speaking. Leave your phone alone. Leave your phone alone. As at that time, leave social media. If you can, put your phone on silence. Make a look at your mentor. Read between the lines. Read the body language. Read the eye contact. What your mentor is saying with the eye, with the lips, with the hands, everything. Make sure you are listening. Take notes. Take notes. Take notes. Then after you've left with your mentor, those notes, read them again. Read them again. Reflect upon the discussions. What is one thing or the other I learned? Oh, my mentor said something like this. I didn't remember. Go back and ask questions. You can make a call. You can send a WhatsApp message or whatever means of communication, or set another date that you can meet your mentor. But always seek clarification. Then apply that thing that you've been told, apply it, put it into practice, because your mentor will get frustrated and in fact even leave you alone if they've noticed that that thing that they've been talking about you've not put into practice. So learn with an open mind. Learn with an open mind. Learn with an open mind. Be ready to unlearn what you've learned and relearn. Be ready to understand that what you know, it's possible that thing has changed. Be ready to change your perspective. Be ready to have a growth, to grow, because your mentor is there to push you. Your mentor is there to push you up the ladder. If you are not ready to grow, there's no point having a mentor. If you're not, you know you're not ready to move from where you are, there is no point having a mentor, because no mentor will want to continue with you. After a little while, if they don't see any growth, they will leave you alone. Like you said here, if you do not engage in a mentorship relationship, if you're not ready to have your preconceived notions challenged, if you're not truly ready to learn, then there is no point. If you have a closed mindset, please leave having a mentor alone. Just concentrate and do your own thing. If you know that that's how they always do it, that's how I've been doing it, and you're not ready to change it, then leave it. If your mentor is telling you that, oh, the way you can teach two times table this way, and you said no, but I've been teaching it this way and it's been working, and you're not ready to try this new method, there is no point having a mentor. But if you are ready to have a mentor, then be ready for you on to leave, discard some certain notions and learn new things. Then practical tips. Embrace vulnerability. Like I said, you don't know everything. Things are changing. Things are changing every day. There are new innovations every day. So be ready to know that you actually don't know anything. That thing you think you know, you don't know it. Because there are new daily innovations every day. Challenge your beliefs. That thing that you knew before, question it. But they said this cannot do this. Why? Why? How? Why? Why can't nursery children, for instance, read? I can make them read and understand. Why can't primary two children write a whole dictionary? I can do that. Be ready to challenge your beliefs, what you believe, what your preconceptions, your biases. Be ready to challenge them and be ready to also leave them. Be ready to enhance upon it also. Then adopt a growth mindset. We've said that already. Seek diverse perspective. Like I tell my children, there are many ways to kill a rat. There are many ways to kill a rat. And there are those ways of teaching that you knew before. There are new ways of teaching those things again. There are new ways which are coming up every day. Be ready to look at all those perspectives and learn new things. But the way I teach now is not the same way I taught last year. It's definitely not the same way I taught 5 years ago. It's definitely not the same way I taught 10 years ago. There has been a change in me because I've seen the, other perspectives, other methods of doing things. That is what you are there for. That's what your mentor is there for. Your mentor will give you your own his own perspective. Adopt it. Also, you need to also search. Don't wait for your mentor to do everything for you. Just like the way you don't wait for your children in class to do everything for you. you don't want them to do, you don't want to do everything for your children in class. Sometimes you tell them, go and read up, go and find out. The same way you too. Don't wait for your mentor to spoon feed you. Find out other things, other ways of doing things. Then apply, reflect upon those things you've learned and put them into practice. Then give your mentor a feedback. Oh, that thing you taught me, or I found out such and such thing. I put it in practice. This is what I found out. It worked or it didn't work for me. What did I do wrong that is not working for me? It worked. How can I improve upon it? So you need to always speak to your mentor when you find out new things. All right. Then element 4, receive with a willing spirit. Don't just because it's my mentor that said it, let me just take it and go. No, receive with a willing spirit. Be ready to be corrected. Be ready and willing to be corrected. Be ready to know that I don't know it all. I need to I need to listen to others also. Many mentees fail to listen to their mentors because they don't listen to them. Hello, sorry, please. I don't know what happened. Let me look for. Are you seeing my screen? Are we seeing my screen?
No, I'm not seeing your screen, ma.
Okay, I'm coming. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Okay. Can we see it now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Okay. We're talking about receive with a willing spirit. Sorry for that break. Okay. So having a willing spirit entails adopting an attitude filled with a strong will to act upon immediately on what you have learned. That is accepting with a full spirit, with a willing spirit. Don't be proud or self-centered. Be ready to, okay, this thing I've learned, I'm going to put into practice. And as soon as possible, don't wait to, okay, let me wait. Not now. Maybe I can do it in the next 2 years. Whatever you've learned, try to put it into practice immediately. Then we have practical trick tips again for that. Prepare mentally. We've said that before. Cultivate humility. Anyway, when you are with a mentor, you have to be humble because you obviously went to that mentor because the person knows more than you. If you go there to a mentor and feeling like I know more than my mentor, you are going to be in trouble. Approach each mentoring session with a humble spirit that I know I don't know it all. So I'm here, I'm going to learn. I'm here to gain knowledge. I'm here to learn something from someone that who knows better than me, who has been there before me, who has probably done it all or has seen more than me. Then, sorry, um, embrace change. Whatever you've learned, know that you're going to change your perspective, change your approach, change your belief, change your biases. Whatever it is, change based on what you've learned. Then act upon your feedback. Whatever your feedback, if your mentor say you are doing well, continue doing well. If your mentor is saying you are not doing well, you need to do this and this and this, you need to put an act upon it. Don't wait. So okay, maybe later, so that your mentor knows that, okay, this person is really willing to learn. Then express gratitude to your mentor for the time and the advice. Except you are doing a paid mentorship. You know, there's paid mentorship where you pay a mentor and the person is there for you. Like you're subscribing every month. You pay something or you've paid one time. I don't know how it works. Even at that, you must say thank you because that which the knowledge they've imparted upon you, they can as well keep it for themselves and keep using it for themselves. Then we have the fifth element: practice daily. Practice, practice, practice. And we say, practice makes perfect. There is no point attending a meeting with a mentor. There is no point of us having this here if you're not going to put it into practice. There is no point learning anything if you're not going to put it into practice. Practice, practice, practice. That's the only way you can get better. Practice, 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 practice. It cannot be ever emphasized. Whatever you've learned, put it into practice so that you can grow. There's no point having going out of your way to meet, sorry, to meet with a mentor when you're not going to put into practice what the mentor is saying. Then practical tips: set specific goals. It can be weekly goals, termly goals, monthly goals, sessional goals, yearly goals, but set goals that you know you are going to achieve. And then make sure the goals are clear. By next month, I should achieve this. Next week, I should be able to do this and this. Set goals and make sure it is a goal that you can take action upon. Specific goals that you know that it's doable. Don't set goal that next month I'm going to go to America to do my master's when you know it's not possible. Set clear goals goals that you can take action upon now. Then create a routine. Make even meeting with your mentor, there should be a routine. How many times a week? How many times a month? How many? And then what are you going to be doing in these times? Even for your own normal daily tasks in school. Okay, this we've learned this thing. I've learned this thing with my mentor. How long will I keep on? How will I be putting into practice every day? Just like you learned a prayer. You know that you need to be telling yourself something every morning to help yourself. So you need to put to practice everything you've learned daily. Then track your progress. Keep track. How are you doing? How are you doing? Where my one of if I only apart from this my last school, but every other school I've been to, we have evaluation sheets where you are being evaluated. I still have mine, and I look many times I go back and I look at my progress. You can also have this journal or a log for yourself. Last before my handwriting was like this. Now this is my new handwriting. I couldn't do this before. I can do this now. Keep a log where you can put your daily practices, and then you see check your growth, so that you can also set account. You can be accountable to yourself. Then also ask your mentor, am I doing better? Ask your head of school, ask somebody in your school, what have you noticed about me? But make sure that you keep track of your progress. Then seek feedback regularly. I say ask questions. Also update your mentor on what you're doing, what you've done, what's the things that you've done based on what they've said, the things that you've done based on what they've not said, what you found out also. Then ask them if what you are doing is good, or you need to do more, or you need to adjust something. Then reflect and adjust. Reflect and adjust. Then also, I'm going to say this, after you feel like you've grown, you need to mentor somebody. You need to mentor somebody else. Learn to share. I heard somebody saying somebody in my school, she's doing very well, but when you ask her, she doesn't like to share. You learn to share. That person will not grow. You learn to share. You need to learn to share. Mentorship is incredibly conclusion. Mentorship is an incredibly powerful, and with the proper implementation of the right framework, mentees will experience transformation. It requires commitment and openness from the mentee. Your mentor is already ready. Besides, remember, your mentor has already forged a niche for himself or herself. Your mentor is also growing. He's also trying to grow. You should also be ready to grow along with your mentor. So I think this comes to our end. So there's a last scripture reference here, which I like. From Amplified Bible, Philippians 4 verse 9. The things which you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things in daily life, and the God who is the source of peace and well-being will be with you. Should I say praise the Lord? Should I say praise the Lord?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, that's the end from the slide. Is there any question, anything we want to add, anything we want to ask? Maybe we found confusing somewhere. Do we want to add something? You want to ask a question? Please unmute your mic and ask or add. Miss Amine, who have you mentored recently?
A lot of people, Miss Kogi. You know, for me, right? After this my program, after I relocated,
Yeah.
there is a platform on Facebook created by
Okay.
the Department for Education in England,
Okay.
right? Where the idea is all of us that were giving QTS, We're giving
Okay.
advisors, right, to
Oh,
work with us to help us through the job search process.
okay.
Right. So your after you when you get a job, your advisor would recommend for you to share. It's a very large platform to share your testimony, right? That you've gotten a job just to encourage other people because the job search process is very tedious.
Yeah.
So before I got my job, it was typically Ghanaians. Up till this time, I've not seen any Nigerian that has shared that they got a job. It's only
Wow.
Ghanaians. So when that
Wow.
happened, I was like, what's going on? Why is it that Ghanaians are clearing this thing? So I intensified my own effort from my end, working with my advisor. And what are you doing? Don't put your hands in your mouth. So I intensified my efforts, and long story cut short, I got my job. So when I shared my testimony,
Yeah.
come and see my DM, my inbox was filled with Nigerians. Alpha guy, Alpha, what's happened? How did you do it? On the long and short of everything is that most people do not listen. I
Mm.
intend I intend going out on a drive on LinkedIn and possibly on Instagram because I've realized something. Most of my contacts on LinkedIn are people who recently got QTS. In their minds, they heard that the UK needs teachers. Once you get QTS, you get a job. They do not realize that getting QTS is easy. The part where you need to work is the job search process. It's not what we are
Yeah.
used to. That is why the
Mm.
government, in their knowledge, had people with advisors to work with them. But your advisor will
Mm.
tell you, do this.
Do
You
this.
don't, you don't want to do it because you feel you know too much.
Yeah.
So it's like what you are saying now. So my advisor is more like I still talk to him up till now. I hardly post anything without him commenting, even on my WhatsApp.
Mm.
It's a very tedious process. Most people feel they know too much. I have QTS. You people should get out, right? So
Mm.
your advisor will tell you go and do X, Y, Z. You refuse to do it. But for me, I kept doing. You know how our job is, Miss Kogi. You know how our
Yeah.
job is working in our school in
Yeah.
prep, right? In all of
Mm.
that, I will go to farm, get back home, and you need to see the applications you need to write. They don't need your CV.
Mm.
I didn't get the job by sharing a CV. What you would do, you would download application forms, you fill, and yeah, you spend 2 to 3 hours filling one form.
Wow.
Then the part where you need to now write your application, 2 sides of an A4 paper, it's very thorough. They will not say
Mm.
because they are
You have
looking for
QTS.
teachers, because they are there, then they would employ any Tom, Dick, and Harry. It doesn't work that way. You have to prove yourself. So
Mm.
what am I driving at? You ask who I have mentored.
Yeah.
Now, after I got my job, people Nigerians were filled in my DM, bros, half a. So I started telling them what I did. That I simply followed my advisor's instruction. Most of them, I don't know if I'm not sure why. Maybe they could not relate well with the advisors. So after I now explained the same thing the advisors have been telling them,
Mm.
I will take out my time when I'm after work, right? I will go online,
Mm.
I'll send them maybe Zoom link or Google Meet link, and I explain to them, do this, do that, do that. And they'll be like, oh, is this what this man has been saying since?
Say
Do you understand? So in that regard, though, I have mentored a lot of people in the past 8 months. I have
wow.
told them this is how to write your application, and they're like, "Wow!" They did not know that this was what was expected. It's a lot of work, Miss Yogi. Do you understand? So in that regard, I have mentored a lot of people. So yesterday, someone mentioned on LinkedIn, he got excited. He just got his QTS and he got excited. So
I think I saw it.
I went to his comment and I told him, young man, it's not time to be late. Now is the time you will work. They don't understand. He feels that I beg nothing to happen, I will get work. Somebody even
Mm.
mentioned, someone now also commented that you are in an area that he studied a subject that they have serious shortage in, so it won't be difficult. And I'm just laughing. I do not wish him, I do not wish anybody bad luck. I am being factual. I
Yeah.
know how it is. It's a system that works. They are not desperate. Yes, they want teachers, but they're not desperate to the extent where they would employ anybody.
Anybody.
The white man would rather, they have what they call supply teachers. They would rather leave their children with supply teachers than bring in anybody from abroad.
Hmm.
So I think for me, this is now my pet project that I will push in the
Come and
next
mentor me
few.
now, Mr. Mine.
Come on, there.
Ah, come and mentor me. Let me come to UK now.
You are not ready to come. You are not ready to
What do you
come.
mean?
See,
Ah, what do you mean by that?
Miss Kogi, see, again, and the funny thing is that you even did a course that you're looking for. Now, there are different pathways to getting QTS. They have shortage for teachers of maths, physics, chemistry, biology. Then they
Mm-hmm.
have shortage for teachers of languages that you have a background in.
Mm-hmm.
French, Spanish, German. If you apply, the first thing for you to do will be to apply for QTS. Then once you get your QTS, you already have French as your first degree, right? And you've done your
Yeah.
PGDE. You apply for
Yes.
QTS. Let's talk outside of this, Miss Kogi. Don't worry. You apply, you get your QTS, then you start searching for jobs. You get a job, you are out. You don't move.
Okay.
But the job search process is very thorough, and
Yeah.
most people do not want to put in the work, which is what most people will tell you. Somebody even asked me today, "Can you mentor me?" I say I am happy because mentoring, I don't different from different perspectives. People say it from people might have different definitions to it. Someone
Mm-hmm.
who can say that they are a mentor, so in other words, they are a lord over you, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
that might be some people's perception of mentorship.
That's one. That one, I don't think is a
Mhm.
mentor. That one, I
Yes,
believe is a career
yes,
coach.
yes. Mentorship. So I told her that I am happy to guide you in your application process. That word mentorship is before you start expecting a lot from me. I am happy to tell you, okay, this is what you need to do and all of that. And she's happy, right?
Okay. But
So you
the guidance is also mentorship now.
yes, sometimes I just want to shy away from using some words. Mhm. It is
Meaning you are
mentorship.
a mentor. Ah,
It
all right.
is well. So that's all.
Any Thank you, Mr. Mine.
You're welcome.
Anybody wants to ask your questions here? Mr. Mine is currently in the UK. He teaches in the UK. He was my colleague here in Nigeria. We work together closely together. So if you want to ask him any question, or you want to ask any questions here based on what we've done, mentorship, please, or you want to add anything. Yes, ma'am. Miss Omokudu. Mr. God Omokudu, please unmute your mic and speak.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Sorry again, I couldn't join in as early as I ought to have.
No
I
problem.
Yeah, so but I just met midway, and this I wish he could just share a little of the work experience abroad because I have my cousin who even before this time, I mean, from childhood, he said he wanted to be a teacher, born and bred in London. But after doing everything, even up to I think his PhD, he refused to work in the UK. He's working currently and has been working in China as a teacher,
Okay.
English teacher. So we just keep wondering what is chasing you, away from. Now I know I keep hearing all sorts of things, the way they raise their children there, teachers are quitting here and there and all that. So aside the will I say the financial benefits,
Mm-hmm.
what are the oh, the downsides? Of course, everywhere in any career or anything, you must have some one is okay, sorry. One or two, downsides to it. How do you cope with those things? Well, I follow some teachers on Instagram, and the kind of funny things I see, and everybody looking forward to summer, and aside even the summer, the way they even like is as though Kai. let me just leave this once, and that's normal. But there's a particular teacher who always, I think, talk it straight or something, although she's in the US, and keeps complaining. I think there are some parts in the US now where no child should fail. The least score a child should get is 50%. And she just kept complaining, how will I give 50% to a child who I've never seen? Now, before now, what they had to deal with was the parents coming to Yale and calling in to say, how come the child didn't pass and all? But now that is like a rule, a law, it's hurting them, and, it's just making the whole profession a little, is it boring or unsatisfying? Because I believe teaching, aside financial benefit, there's a deep satisfaction that comes with it,
Yeah.
just impacting. So I
Yeah.
don't know, he could just also talk us through whatever experience he has had, so that, I mean, people aspiring to do that would also prepare their minds
All
and
right,
know
Mr.
that these
Mina.
are one of the things they could experience.
Mr. Mina, over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Now, your question, right? It's one that would make me go on and on and on and on. But I would start by saying yes, a lot of teachers in the West, not just in the UK, a lot of teachers are quitting, and for various reasons. But for generally, you would hear people talk about the government not supporting. You hear them talk about behavioral issues in terms of the children. Before I came here, I had my mind set on all of that. I already knew that okay, children abroad would definitely be difficult to work with. But one thing I have realized in about 9 months, yeah, about 9 months now, because I started in September, right? The English children are not as aggressive as those American children. Most of the videos we see online, where you see students fighting teachers, it's in America,
Mm-hmm.
right? English kids are not that, they are not that, what word should I use? Aggressive. They're not that aggressive. Yes, you can find yourself in a case where you'll be in a difficult school with difficult children. Yes. For
Mm-hmm.
me, because I had my mind prepared
And difficult parents too.
when I started seeing things, I was not surprised because I knew I was ready for all of that. But I have survived 9 months and I do not have any regrets whatsoever. I do not feel overwhelmed in any way, um, possibly because of the kind of experience I've had, working in Abuja, different schools I have worked in. And again, the government here, the schools here, they understand that there is a behavior problem. So almost every school, I believe, my school in particular, they have policies in place to help you as a teacher to manage your class. So all you need to do is follow the policy, implement the policy. You already know, even in Nigeria, you can't hit children, you can't spank and all of that. You can't even, it's a safeguarding concern here. So if a child is misbehaving, do what you need to do. I've had
Mm.
instances where I have had classes where in my first term, a particular class, just one class, the very last class on Fridays, those guys gave me hell. I would just sit there. You know how they're deliberately trying to get under your skin. What I
Mm.
said, sir, you're not angry. We thought you'd be angry by now. And I said, me, you want me to be angry? That means I don't know what I am doing because I know you're trying to get under my skin. So if you're refusing to learn, that's your cup of tea. Now the policy would say if a child does this, do that. Okay, so for
Mm.
example, you're teaching, right? A student or some students are disrupting your lesson. You issue them a strike, a C1. C1 is more like, I am warning you. Can you stop what you're doing? Right? then they carry on. They're still disturbing. You issue them a C2, right? C2 is the first one is a chance, then choice, C2. Then if they carry on and it gets to the point where you now issue them a C3, at that point, all you need to do is to go on your computer, go to Team SOS, you call for help. You ask for the child to be removed from the class. It's simple.
Wow.
So you do that, you call for Team SOS, you ask, Mr. Mine has been disturbing my lesson. He's been doing XYZ. Please come take him out. They come, they take Mine away from class, they take Mine to a separate room. Do you understand? So somehow you are protected. Then there is C4. There are different levels of consequences you can give to children. There is a C4. C4, there are different reasons that you can give C4, but one of them is for lesson truancy. Most times they don't want to come into class, they don't want to come and learn, and you notice that they're in school, you issue them a C4. All of these, it's a system, it's gathering up against the child's profile there. Then if a child decides to be aggressive, they want to swear at you, they want to try and fight you, you issue them a C5. Straight up, they will go to detention. So most people, when you get yourself worked up, the kids would deliberately try to get you worked up. When if you want vex, then that's your cup of tea. Like the one who told me, sir, they want me. I mean, I was just smiling. Oh, you're doing this. Just follow policy. Just do what you're meant to do. Or the child threw a chair. Issue. Oh, dangerous behavior. You log it in. Simple, and you're covered. You're covered. So, for your family member, I don't know if it's your cousin or the person you said that left teaching.
A nephew.
Your nephew. I do not know. Maybe if I have a conversation with him and he tells me his reasons, then I would understand. Then I'll be able to tell you, okay, then I'll be able to respond to that. But I know generally that you should expect, even in Nigeria, you have difficult children.
Yeah.
Right. Even in Nigeria, you have difficult children. And here, I've heard about the policy in America where they must pass. In my school, they fail. If you don't want to learn, if it's your cup of tea, all you need to do as a teacher is make sure you've put all the measures in place for the child, for your students to learn, and it should be on record that you've done X, you've done Y, make sure you do everything you need to do. If the child fails, that is their cup of tea.
But here in Nigeria also, a lot of schools don't fail children. A lot of schools you cannot fail a child.
Because
I think the only school I know currently in Nigeria that fails children, apart from government school, is Abuja Prep.
Yeah, because they will tell you that
can repeat.
They will tell you that they've paid school fees. You need to. Education is work. You can't expect teachers to perform magic. My school, where I work currently, you fail. You fail. I don't need to give anybody 50 marks from nowhere. We have what we call our final fortnight. It's a test that we do every 2 weeks, right? Some would even refuse to write their name on the sheet of paper. Even an exam as important as their GCSEs that they're currently doing, like our WAEC and NECO, they're currently doing their GCSEs right now. Some don't want to get into the hall to write even their name on the script.
Wow.
And at the end of the day, they will fail. Nobody will manufacture grades for them. So
yeah.
So I guess that might be the difference between the UK and America. I am not sure I can work in America. I'm not sure I can, because I know American kids can be really aggressive.
America is a planet of its own.
I know American kids can be really aggressive, and apart from their aggression, they will come and shoot me. It's always
shoot you.
Shoot. Do you understand? What happens in the UK? Knife crime. You know, because in America, guns are not regulated. Anyone can get a gun. Guns are regulated in the UK. So what they do here is mostly knife crime. You mind your business. Mind your business. So for me, it's been a rewarding experience so far, right? Even though I was chatting with someone earlier today, and they said, "Oh, you both be careful. They can be laughing with you, but I just do my job and I leave." I do my job and I leave. So I feel like if you ask me, I am enjoying it. This is almost the end of term three. So I've successfully done one whole school year, right? Yes, you will have challenges. They don't joke with their
Em-
children. They don't joke with their children. What a child says is almost law. So as a teacher, you need to be very smart. Use your age to have use your age as an advantage over them, right? I've had I've had a girl come up with an allegation in my first term. That same class I said was difficult, right? She
mm,
went to, I'm sure you've heard of safeguarding. Safeguarding is a
yeah,
big deal. It's a big issue here. They don't,
yeah.
if a child doesn't want to learn, leave her more. Not be your, if you want to fail, make, if a child is destroying something, right? I know your first
Mm-hmm.
instinct as a Nigerian teacher will be, he destroy him, you give her for it. Blah, blah. If you
Uh-huh.
let him destroy it, you will lock that child in for vandalism. The parents will be made to pay. It is not your place to come and show them, hey, sit down there. Hey, you have to do it. It is all you need to do is just log it in. Follow policy. You have no business raising your voice. Just follow policy. So this girl, they were Hannah, her friends, they were misbehaving in class, doing everything they need to do, shouting, screaming. I not answer them. The first few weeks that they did it, then I did not really understand the procedure. So I was just managing their bad character and all of that. They don't say bad character. I was just managing the room. So when I understood the policy very well, they were exhibiting dangerous behavior. Right. So when you exhibit
Mm.
dangerous behavior, you are issued a C5. I slammed her with a C5. She was shocked. She continued. I slammed her with another C5 again. Pwah, pwah, and it's on her record. Right. So the following day, she went on detention. Her parents will be called and all of that. You know, some days later, this girl came to me and said, okay, in that lesson, towards the end of the lesson, she came to me and said, sir, did you just snatch that scissors from me? I look at her, what are you saying? Come on, leave this place. She went to safeguarding to say that she understands that she's been a bad girl, she's been this, she's been disruptive and none of that, but that she was using a pair of scissors. I came, I grabbed her hand, I bent her hand,
Wow.
and I snatched the scissors from her. Now I cut her hand.
Wow.
So the safeguarding lead came to me and said, "What do I remember anything that happened?" I said, "I was not thinking, nothing happened though." She now said that this child said you did this. I was not trying to remember, when did this happen? You know how you're trying to remember, when did this thing happen? Am I suffering from memory loss? Because I could not think of
Mm-hmm.
anything that happened. So I told the lady, nothing like that happened. They told me to write a statement. Everything here, you write your statements. I wrote my
Yeah.
statements through email. They came back, I signed, and they investigated. For 2 whole weeks, they were carrying out an investigation. After investigating, they found out that the girl was lying. And they came back to say that they've carried out their investigation, blah, blah, blah. The child, that there's no evidence and all of that. The child was lying, and everything just stops there. You understand? So you need to be really, really, really careful, because children will come up with allegations. That's where you, an adult, you need
Yeah.
to be steps ahead of them and make sure you do not. You see how in Abuja prep you'll be smiling with children, you will hug them.
So hold them.
I don't even when they come with, they want to give me high five, handshake. I'll just do thumbs up from afar and I will move on, because that's high five you will give to someone tomorrow when the story will change. You'll be like, when
Yeah.
did this happen? I can't give high five. How much more hug? So you can't say, and you can't say, okay, let me even hug the boys, because it is a boy can say you did something to him.
Yes. Oh.
Know where you are. So both the boys,
Yes.
both the girls, arm's length. Do your job and you move on. For me, it's been a rewarding experience so far. I do not regret the move, and I would encourage anyone who qualifies to come in, because we need to have more of us here. Seriously, and that's why I mentioned earlier that I would come up with a drive, because a lot of Nigerians still do not know the process, right, to landing jobs in the UK. They feel that once they get the QTS, That is it. That is not it. Oh. There's a lot that, but I'll stop here for now.
All right, Mr. Mine, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So any other person wants to ask something before I just round up? Because I realized some of us came in late, so want to add or ask? Okay, just for a recap, we're talking about mentorship and what to do as a mentee. We talked about you. Let me just share my screen again so that this sharing of screen thing. Okay, yeah, share. Okay, all right. So we look at 5 elements that we need to, as a mentee, you should look out for. You should do 5 elements. The first is observe your mentor, ask questions, observe, ask questions. Where you for whatever your mentor has done. That's what observe what your mentor is doing, how the mentor is carrying out things, the mannerisms and all of that. Then ask questions, write down. We also talk about whatever you are doing with your mentor, make sure you write it down so that you can go back to go through, refresh, and put it into practice. Then we looked at the next thing, listen and understand. Don't just hear what your mentor is saying, but listen and understand what they're talking about so that you can put into practice, so that you can listening also entails listening between the lines, reading between the lines of what your mentor has said. Don't just listen one way and that is all. Read body language. And we said avoid your phones, keep your phones aside, push your phone when you are together with your mentor, push your phone aside. Then we looked at learn with an open mind, be ready to upgrade, be ready to discard some of your beliefs, and be able to be ready to discard some of your biases also. Some of the things you've been doing over and over and over again before, be ready to change, be ready to relearn, unlearn what you've learned before and relearn it again. Relearn new things because innovations are coming up every day. Then we have receive with a willing spirit. Whatever your mentor is saying, receive it. Whether it's criticism or praise, receive it. Also be ready to change. Don't just go have a mentor and then you're not ready to change. You're not ready to do things differently. Then we looked at practice daily. Whatever you've learned with your mentor, put into practice. And the best way to put into practice what you've learned is through mentoring, by mentoring somebody else. By mentoring somebody else, that's the best way to be able to put into practice. Mentor somebody else, mentor somebody else, mentor somebody else. Then finally, before we leave, one last thing: be creative, create ideas and share with your mentor. Don't just look at one thing one way. Be creative. Creativity, we're going to have so one of these webinars one of these days where we're going to look at creativity in the early years, creativity in key stage 1, creativity in lower key stage 2 and upper key stage 2, sorry. How can you be creative in your space, in your room? Creativity is like the bedrock of education. You cannot do one thing a particular way every time. Be creative in whatever it is you're teaching. You can be creative in different, whether you're teaching PE, even as an administrator, whether you're teaching languages, be creative at all times. Find a way to be creative. Share with your mentor. Oh, planning to do this. I'm planning to do that. What do you think? How do you think? And then both of you can work on it together. All right. Any other question? Anybody want to ask anything? Okay. Unmute your mic, sir. Mr. Boniface Enweliku. Unmute your mic. Mr. Boniface, we're waiting for you. I don't I don't think he wants to ask anything. Maybe he mistakenly pressed touch the raised hand. All right, thank you all for joining. I don't know why others couldn't join, but thank you anyway. Still, I will make the video available on YouTube. Thank you, Mr. Minen. We are still going to have you another time for this topic, or maybe another topic. I don't know. We were going to have maybe for this topic, yes, how to get QTS and how to find yourself and how to work abroad. We're going to find one full session for you. Are we in agreement?
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. I will let you know when that time comes. We're going to have this webinar again in 2 weeks' time with two different speakers again. Let's avail ourselves. Thank you very much for joining. God bless you all, and we'll meet another time. Thank you, Ms. Adekami, Ms. Omowumi. Thank you very much. Okay, we can end our call from your side and log out. I think we are done. You can end the call from your side. Maybe I should just end everybody's call. Okay. Stop recording.